Do you think it is a necessary thing for any musicians out there to have to learn sheet music and have to learn that specific way of doing music to be successful?
No, definitely not.
I'm drunk, dude. Hey, what's up, guys? Thank you for listening to Thee Stool Podcast. Got a couple things to tell you guys. The new EP, Ignite, for The Dunce drops November 8th, featuring two of our homies, Young Link and Be the Wizard. Our buddies, Young Link and Be the Wizard, both bless these tracks with us. Hey, delete all that. Let's do it. I got it. Young Link and Be the Wizard. We have 3 new tracks on there. Our latest single, Cup of Song, is out right now. We got a music video right here on YouTube, and we got the audio on Spotify, Apple Music, Pandora, wherever you listen to music. Like, subscribe, and also hit that bell notification so you get the updates for when we drop stuff on the YouTube. Back to the episode.
So I see you do your live streams. You do a lot of instrumentation stuff. You do like writing. You do like do you when you write? Do you have a DAW that you just record into as you go? Or is it like, do you just rehearse stuff enough to memory to go into recording sessions?
Yeah. So what I usually do, and I realize I didn't ever answer the question about how Lady Neptune was written.
We think.
We digress on here all the time.
That happens often.
It happens often.
So to answer your question, Mick, I usually what I do is I record. I'll get one instrument out and I will record it. I'll just start messing around until I have something that I feel like sounds good, and then I will record that. I actually don't record an entire session because I feel like that would be way too much to sift through. But if I have like a little piece of a like a section of melody with a certain keyboard sound, I will go ahead and record that, and I'll kind of file it away. And I piece, like the way that I did Death Dreams was I got enough to just demo myself completely at home, and then I took my demos to the studio, and we finished the songs out from there.
Okay, so you essentially you get it to the point where you write the melody and you're like, how can I sell this? How can I grow this? How can I make this into something that I would want to listen to, that I would want to accidentally stumble upon on a streaming service radio station and be like, what the, because for me, when I produce, I do that too. I like to like write just like stuff that's just really undeniable, and then just try to make that into something bigger than you never conceived that it could be. So I like that. I like that. So with that said, I mean, I've seen you live. I've seen you play piano. I've seen you get down. You have the chops to do it. My thought is, so you don't know how to read music, right?
No.
So
none of us do.
I could because of those piano lessons I took in second grade. I could like kind of put together. I could read something very slow. I can look at a staff and figure out what note it is, but it's like so ridiculoly slow.
You can't spot read. Is it called spot reading or whatever? Where it's like
sight reading.
Sight reading. That's what it is. That's what it is. Yeah. No, I've never been a guy who reads music. I've actually, in the last couple of years, I slowly have learned a little bit more about all the vocabulary and how to identify this and what all the symbols mean and stuff. And I'm trying to experiment with like writing all the songs that I've written just onto sheet music and just seeing how that goes for me. You know what I mean? It's like seeing what it looks like, what my music looks like on sheet reading or sheet on sheets. And I don't know. I think that's going to be my next like big experiment. Like I've written a lot of music, and I feel like I've done and gotten a lot of the ideas that I had in my head out. What I want to do is kind of start getting better at understanding them musically so that I could express them in different ways and make them better. And, I wrote some music, way back in like 2008 and stuff where I didn't have all the proper recording stuff. And I would love to relive that stuff and make it proper. It's, I don't know. There's something to just having that as an accomplishment, But I don't know. I think it's cool. Jonny, do you read sheet music? Do you know how to read sheet music?
I do not know how to read sheet music. I can read tabs very well, though.
Okay, yeah.
I'm a tab
tabs
guy.
Are easy. Tabs are easy.
That's how I started. My brother gave me my brother was the one that first started playing bass for a band called Zombie. And over here locally, they were pretty big locally, but not everywhere else. But he basically, I would wake up in the morning because I didn't go to school. I'll be like, I'm not going today. And then I just hear them blasting this was the garage and I'd be right here sleeping. And then it would wake me up and I'm like, okay, well, it's time to get up and I'll go watch my brother's band play. And I just always was intrigued about playing bass. And he gave me, I was like, I want to learn. And he's like, okay, cool, I'll teach you. And I said, okay, cool. He showed me how to read tabs. And then he gave me Metallica Master of Puppets and a Slayer tab book. And he said, okay, there you go, learn. And I was like, all right, I guess I'm doing this myself. And and that's how I started. So it was always tabs for me, really, like never anything else. But I did okay with tabs, you know. I just kind of hear it and feel it.
Honestly, if I'm going to be honest, I've seen Jonny play like as a bassist. He is incredibly mediocre. I would say he's right up the middle. You know, he's
nothing
good
special.
He's good at being just good.
Look, this is the thing with the
I'm
with the
totally
bass.
kidding. He's a great bassist.
With the
He's
bass,
really good.
It's all rhythm, and you just got to be just good enough, and that's it, and you're good. You know,
Yeah.
it's not like I play a
Where no one
7-string or
notices,
anything.
right?
Yeah, just sit in the back. You know, just hit the rhythms. You're good to go.
So that being said, you know, the question at hand here is, as a musician that has built a successful career and has several different, you know, sources of creativity that you get to pump out and get revenue from. Do you think it is a necessary thing for any musicians out there to have to learn sheet music and have to learn that specific way of doing music to be successful?
No, definitely not.
Boom.
There's so many musicians who
She said it.
don't know how to read sheet music.
I think that's the beauty of creating music is doing it from. We have arguments all the time, me and these guys, about how I'm very much of like this like DIY mentality. Do it without rules. Do it without structure. Without like this, you know, whole like you need to learn how to do it this way. Learn your own way. You know, be an autodidact about how you create your music, and then you're going to make the most creative and interesting kind of music.
Yeah, I agree with that. I don't know why you say you have arguments with us because we agree with that.
You guys often talk about like the commercial element of it, of having to please the listener and all that stuff. That's what I mean.
We try to do that too. Yeah, we try to do that too. I agree with that. We do a little bit of both though. You know, I don't
disagree.
We try to please the listeners, you know, and if something sounds good and it's something that we write that's very a little bit more modern, we'll try to recreate that, you know, as a song and push that out. But at the same time, we still do, you know, try to be as creative as we can within that realm. Like our last single, Cup of Song, was very like, I don't know, R&B-ish kind of alternative. And we never wrote something like that, you know? And at the same time, we're like, okay, let's write something like this. The song sounds really cool, the instrumental. So we're like, let's just go dive deep into that and see what comes out, you know? I'm a huge fan of like Faith No More. So like they do that all the time. They have stuff that's very, you know, like poppy out of nowhere, or like, they're trying to grab the listeners, but then they have stuff that's really crazy and creative, like their last album. So I don't like the way you talk about me like that.
I only do it on the basis that Mick calls you a two-dimensional listener, and I trust his opinion. I trust his opinion.
All right, check it out. They call me a two-dimensional listener, but none of these guys listen to Mr. Bungle and like Phantomos and like these crazier bands that literally have no lyrics. So you guys are two-dimensional listeners. I'm like 4 dimensions, you know?
4 dimensions?
4 dimensions, yeah.
4 dimensions. None of us know what that 4th dimension is. But.
Exactly. They don't know. See what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying here?
No, I honestly, over time, I've learned more about you, Jonny, and if anything, I've learned that you're at least a 2.5 dimension listener. You know what I mean?
I'll take
you're
it.
At least that much.
I'll take 2.5.
Okay.
I'll take 2.5.
I think that's meeting in the literal middle.
Literally, yeah. Let's meet in the middle with that. I'm okay with that.
Okay, I got.